With Word 2010's Find and Replace editing features, you can find text in your document, then replace that text with different text. A reminder, as we learned in Chapter 1, when we click the Find button, we can open a navigation pane that doesn't really do a find operation, it really does a search operation. So if we wanted to look for all the instances of the word gallery, we return the kind of result set that we would get if we did a search on Bing or Google. A list of items, not simply one item, then another, so that we can find text in our document, each occasion of some particular text. But if you're searching for text with the goal being replacing that text with some other text, you should start not with find, but with replace. When you choose replace, it will open the Find and Replace dialog box, and you'll look at the Replace tab. It actually will pull that text from your search box over here in the navigation pane, and I can say I'd like you to search for the word gallery. And from the current insertion point, if I choose to go to the next item, it will move, and notice that the dialog box kind of hops around a little bit as well to the end of the document, and then it says it's at the end. Do you want to go back to the beginning, because we started searching in the middle? And I'll say yes, and it will start at the beginning and work its way down. Now, you have some creative ways to make all of these items work on the screen at one time. For example, you can restore this dialog down and close the navigation pane, and then move this box to the right and switch back and forth between them. Or, with the Replace dialog box open, you can zoom and make your document text smaller so it actually fits next to. And that way this dialog box won't move as you look in your document. So I'm going to find next again, and you'll notice it's much easier now when I don't have to be moving the dialog box from one place to another. The point of replace, though, is to change one thing to another. And in this document, when it was typed, the person who entered it entered text about the home menu and the insert menu. And these are absolutely not menus anymore. On the ribbon, they're called tabs. So we're going to say find each occasion of the word menu and replace it with the word tab. I haven't specified any formatting at all, and so we're going to take a look and say let's start with wherever we are in our document, perhaps at the start, and find the next one, and it will take us to menu, and we can say, okay, replace that one. Home menu, yep, replace that one. And if we wish, we could say simply replace them all. And it says, I did it 9 times. What do you think? We can say, okay. So every time the word menu appeared, it replaced it with the word tab. The word menu is kind of an interesting word in some respects. It's rarely a part of another larger word. Tab, on the other hand, if we replaced every instance of tab with menu, we would get some interesting results. So let's do that. Let's reverse this to see how replace works. And I'm going to replace the word tab, which we know occurs in here at least 9 times, with the word menu. And I'd say, okay, I'm looking to replace tab with menu. Let's replace them all. And it says I did it 14 times. It actually did it in times that I wouldn't have wanted it to. It says you can use these galleries to insert menuals. Well, that's a word that a moment ago was tables. T-A-B-L-E-S. So Word actually did exactly what we asked it to do, and that's not necessarily as helpful as we would like it to be. So I'm going to go back and we're going to undo this replacement, this replace all. So everything's back to where it says tab again. We're going to take a look at some options. For example, find whole words only would be helpful. Don't find tab as part of table, find tab only as an entire word. Now if I replace all, it shouldn't do it 14 times. It should only do it 11 times. And my word tables is untouched here. There are some other search options that you might want to know about for search and replace. For example, matching case. I'm looking for a word that should be insert, capital I and S-E-R-T, so I could tell it to match exactly the case of what I tell it to find. Now, there are some other things that we can do here with find and replace that we can't do in the navigation pane. For example, in my document, I might want to search for a place that someone pressed enter twice or hit the space bar twice. And those kinds of choices I can find by saying I'm looking for particular formatting. So please take me to any place in my document where someone pressed enter twice and should have only pressed enter once. The way we do that is we'd say, throughout this document, I'd like you to find any place somebody pressed enter. That leaves a paragraph mark, by the way. And replace it with not nothing, but one paragraph mark. Word will look through the document, and anywhere that a user entered enter twice, it will change it to enter once. You can do the same thing with spaces. Where there were 2 spaces all the way through this document, please put 1 space. Let's replace them all. There were no replacements. This document doesn't have any place someone pressed the space bar twice. So you can search for special characters on this list. You can also search for special formatting, or you can add special formatting here to the document. For example, we are back to our language about on the menu, and we want to replace that with tab. So let's find all instances of the word menu, and let's replace it with tab, but let's be very specific about how we want to replace it. When we replace it, what we'd like to do is we'd like to also make it bold and perhaps turn it red so that it will stand out in the document. So find any occasion of the word menu and replace it with formatted text. Let's replace them all. 11 replacements were made, and as I change into 100%, you'll see there's a red tab. So I can do some what you might think of as advanced formatting by saying I want to look for particular words and replace that instance of the word with one that is bold or one that is italicized so that I can use it for particular purposes. One more reason to use this dialog box is that when I'm searching using the navigation pane, I can search for text, I can search for tables and graphics and equations. What I can't easily search for in the navigation pane is I can't search for formatting. But here I can search for particular formatting in my document, both special characters and text with particular formatting. If you want to find text with particular formatting or special non-printing characters, click Replace, choose the Find tab. In most word processors and in earlier versions of Word, there was simply this one Find and Replace tool with really the option to replace the text that you found, but no way to look at all of the text that was found at one time. That worked wonderfully for replacing text and special characters, as it does here, and you also have the navigation pane that allows you to search for text. So Word 2010 separates searching from replacing so that you have 2 full-featured tools, really the best of both worlds, for searching and for find and replace.